Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another scene set in Vampire Requiem for London. Tonight, we set this scene in a gym hall inside South Bank University. Where Julian is currently being thrown across the gym floor. Julian, you are engaging in one of the many experiments of your coil to master your beast. Currently, you are undergoing physical conditioning. The man who has thrown you across the floor is this man. Late 30s, Goldilocks hair, broad build, tall, speaks with a slight Eastern European accent. His name is Giorgio Lenistav. He's an ancillary of your clan. And he's also a master of the coil of the worm. And a sworn of the axe. He says, the way I was taught, the best way to master your beast was to see it out in the open. Now get up and dance. As, he's gonna go fight you.
Julian would stand from where he was thrown, and you hear a noise from his hand as he kind of flexes his fingers and gets into a into a bit of a brawler stance, and waits for and no, he wouldn't wait. He would go in, accepting the challenge.
Alright. Roll me your initiative.
Alrighty.
I need to double check.
And I believe it's a D10 plus the mod, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that's 13 for me.
Alright. Let me just double check. Here's a modifier. Okay. And yep. We have a team. Oh, you go first.
Alrighty. Well, he'll come in with a straight um, at this man's head. Well, not particularly aiming, just describing it. And he'll
Do you want
spin.
to
Hmm?
do you want to make a cold shot against his head or just a standard?
It's standard. It's more just a
Okay.
descriptor.
Yeah.
And he'll spend a point of vitae to give some extra dice for this roll. That's 4 successes. Plus, I have 2 10s, so we'll roll that.
Oh no, you lose his defense and dice.
Oh, okay.
His defense is. It is 4.
All right. Then if I were to remove 4 from that, that would be 0, so I did not hit him.
And no, you lose dice, not successes.
Okay, so
So
just
you
roll
lose
it
the
again then?
8, the 5, the 10, and the 4. So you still have an 8, a 1, a 10, and a 4. So roll another dice.
All right.
Roll another dice. Okay. You hit him for 3 bashing damage. Your massive fist collides with his face. Um, cracking a cheekbone, but otherwise not stopping him, as he's just going to go straight in on you.
All right.
He's going to voluntarily ride the wave against you.
Oh, that's what he's doing? Okay.
So he rolls. Okay, let me double check riding the wave real quick.
Not a problem.
Okay, he snarls at you. Um, I don't know if this actually costs him a turn or not.
I don't believe so, because it's more you have to worry about making a check, if I remember correctly.
Yes, an extended check, but doesn't say like if it takes a turn. Okay, I'm gonna say it doesn't. He's just gonna hit you.
Okay.
What's your defense?
My defense is 1.
Okay. He he strikes you not nearly as hard as you struck him for a single bashing.
Julian will take the blow solidly, and take notice of, because he is in frenzy right now, though the
He's not in
obvious.
he's not in frenzy yet. He's in the process of writing it.
Okay, so watching him, seeing how he's getting started, and knowing a bit about the beast himself, one of the best ways to get it out is through physical violence, and he'll continue his assault on him, and go for a strike to the ribs now. Right, and yeah, I'll spend another blood. I can update my sheet real quick. I will just make. That way I don't have to go through all my other part of the sheet. And minus 2 equals 8. Right, there we go. Right, no successes on this. So as I go for his ribs, what does he do?
As you go to strike him. You go for the 1-2 punch, and he grabs your wrist with an unnatural strength and stops the blow dead. As he's going to go for a follow up. First, he needs to roll. Yep. You see that he fully enters a state of frenzy as he stops your blow. But there's a semblance of control as he smiles at you with uh, just a row of fangs. And deep wide eyes. And it's as if you see a flash of his veins and his arteries run across his skin. It's almost as if his body grows tenser, ever so slightly broader. And as he goes to strike you, you notice he's a lot faster than when he last struck you. He's almost twice as fast. Many times faster, in fact. Whereas before he was moving at a speed relative to a quick human. Maybe even a wolf on the hunt. Now he seems to move like a speeding car. He's gonna strike you again. This time he hits you a lot harder, doing 3 bashing damage to you and sending you careening into the wall.
Alright.
Which you would have just outright broken straight through if it hadn't been reinforced beforehand. This time his defense has gone up by 5.
Alright.
So his defense is now 9.
Alright.
He was not moving this fast until he frenzied.
And I notice the frenzy, and I feel, well, this isn't necessarily terrible. I know what kind of force I just got hit with. I see the engraving of my flesh upon the wall behind me.
Oh no, he doesn't have a defense of 9, he's a defense of 7. My apologies.
So right now, he doesn't feel the creature in this mental cage pawing at the gates, and that bothers him. His mind's almost going, how much more do I have to take to get its attention? And with that, especially since this is a thing to prove himself to the Ordo, regardless of what directory they're part of, he will take a moment to breathe and go to that mental cage and look at that beast of many animals forced into one very uncomfortable body, and will tell it, knock unconscious person in front. It's a very clipped, very short words. And he will spend the wall power to break that lock from the beast's cage.
Okay. Are you gonna voluntarily enter frenzy, or are you gonna try and ride the wave?
I am voluntarily letting myself enter frenzy.
Okay. All of your physical stats go up by your level in blood potency,
Which should be 1.
which also means you gain a health level as your stamina has now increased.
That at this point, I technically don't have control, so I'll take whatever suggestions you take me, because I am not riding the wave.
You have made it your goal to attack him and defeat him in combat, so that is what your beast will do. So it's your strength plus brawl plus blood potency minus 7.
Since I am so full, will the beast feel in the right to use whatever vitae that's available to them, since I am not hungry?
Yes.
Alright. Then I believe my blood potency is only once. I can only spend up to 1 blood per action, or is it how many I'm willing to spend?
You can only spend 1 blood point in blood potency 1.
Okay.
Per turn.
Alright. Then my strength is up by 1 due to the blood potency. So that's 4, plus my brawl, which is 4, plus vitae spending, which is 2, so that's 10, minus 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, so that's 3d10. No successes.
You leave him with the ferocity of a wild animal, but again, if he were just a wild beast, he would have charged straight into you, but he deftly steps out of the way. Again, with a wild look on his eyes. His beast goading yours. Just goading it, taunting it, mocking it. And he will strike you again.
My defense is now 2, technically, so
Yep. You've taken 4 damage, if I recall.
yep, 4 bashing.
How many health levels do you have left?
I would have 7 more left.
Okay. This time he hits you a lot harder. You can feel the power of it's strange, it's like tempered metal as his fist just runs straight through your stomach.
Would my beast want, feeling the severity of the attack, would my beast would want to use resilience to defend itself?
You've already spent a blood point to enhance your attack,
So no.
so it physically cannot.
Noki dokie.
Blood just begins pouring on the floor. Even if you don't bleed, there is a massive fist-sized hole in your stomach now. As he then just casually pushes you away, again with unnatural force, forcing you away from him, but also putting your beast at something of a corner. You take 4 bashing damage.
So, the beast knows it feels threatened now for sure. And technically, since he's not doing a predatory aura, as I wouldn't have a flight or fight instinct right now, especially since the command was to knock unconscious. So my beast would still be violence for. It would still be inclined to violence. It wouldn't try to run.
It is only inclined to accomplish its goal.
Yes. So I'm still swinging for the fences then. Let's see.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. Only thing I could think of, which I don't think he would, since the command I gave it was, I don't think it would take the time to spend the blood to heal itself.
Oh, did you only get did you only roll 4d10 for the last roll?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Whenever you spend a blood point, you get 2 dice to the action.
No, that's with it.
Oh, why do you have 3 dice for the other action then?
Why do I have 3 dice? Guys, it's minus because I had 1 4 from the strength. I mean, I had my strength was 3, plus a butt puncy is 4, plus my brawl is 4, which is 8. Then plus the vitae, which is 10, minus 7, which is 3.
So you're spending for Vitae this round as well.
Okay.
Because Vitae only lasts a turn in this system, doesn't last a full.
No, I've been spending vitae every time I do it.
Okay, how much Vitae you got left?
Let's see. I have 7.
Okay.
That's it. I was full, so yeah, I have a lot to burn.
And you.
1 this time.
Okay, and you re-roll that 10.
I'll just do that. Nope. Yep, so just one.
Just the one damage. Whenever you strike him, he doesn't seem phased by the pain. He seems to enjoy it. Not enjoy it, he seems that makes it seem hedonistic or like shallow. It's a sort of. He looks fulfilled. Strange. Every strike you make against him seems to fuel him. But this is something in the back of your mind in the midst of frenzy, not something you're thinking about right now. You
Be still there? Okay, I think your audio.
on my audio broke. Whoops.
No, no, no,
Sorry,
you're.
I was saying he's going to start beating into you. He senses weakness. His beast senses weakness. He senses blood. His beast senses blood, and he's going to start beating into you. He his rapid series of strikes that just beat you about halfway into the floor. As the floorboards just shatter beneath your feet, and deal you 3 bashing.
All right. That is exactly 11, so I am unconscious.
Ah, no, actually, that's not actually true.
Oh.
You see, with Kindred, bashing damage doesn't reduce you to torpor, only lethal damage does, but any bashing damage from this point will be upgraded to lethal.
Okay.
So either you can choose to try and escape the frenzy, which I don't think you can actually do.
No.
You you can roll to escape frenzy before this. I think that requires certain conditions though for that to actually happen. Yeah, again, it doesn't say. So
No, I would think since I'm already in frenzy, it's just at this point I'm gonna until he puts me to torpor. Yeah, basically puts me torpor, binds me. I would still keep attacking.
yeah, I think the only thing which would allow you to get out of frenzy at this point is if something strong enough would compel you to get out of it. Um, or if the goal
were to happen, if I were to not come
Were to happen
unconscious,
or become impossible.
then
You are beginning to approach that, but you haven't taken any lethal damage yet, so
alrighty.
you will still strike.
Um, no, well, I guess that's a question. Since my brawl specialty is in bite, and I am getting to the point where my beast is feeling the danger, would my beast try to bite him or try to grab him? Or would he still just keep trying to strike at him?
In Frenzy, you can make a grapple check and bite as a single action.
Yeah. So that's up to you whether my beast would do that or not. I did say knock unconscious and bites. It's aggravated. So,
It's lethal damage in this game.
yeah. You read this again then. So that's up to you though, whether or not my said. I was just thinking about it now, going over some stuff. It's like, what would my beast do? Feeling this much more cornered. So that is
So you're
up
going
to
to
you.
contest. You make a strength plus brawl check.
First is
No dice penalties.
another retail spin because I have enough to burn. No, I'm not even at half yet. So no reason for the beast not to take advantage of that.
Right, he will roll against you. Okay, he successfully defends himself from your grapple check. Only barely. You almost overcome him. But again, it's his semblance of control that allows him to get away from you. It's almost as if his beast enters flight for a moment and he dodges your attempt to grapple him. Moving like a blur, almost as if he has celerity active constantly. He's gonna move to punch you again. Okay, he only does a single bashing damage to you.
Which is one lethal.
It's enough, though, to push your beast over the edge. So because your beast is now feeling lethal damage, your body has been thoroughly crushed under the weight of his fists. It's, You're a very durable person. Extremely durable as a gangrel. But it feels as if every part of your body is pulp, and your beast is beginning to tire and slow down, and it gives you an opportunity to get out of frenzy, if you so wish.
I think I've been in the back seat long enough, and I'm noticing a pattern that I got that one good check in, but especially since he got into frenzy, I don't think I'm gonna get that lucky again.
You've done about 4 or 5 damage to him.
Yeah. Which might be impressive for for a neonate like me, but for what Julie would see in the back seat of being into this frenzy, there's a part of him due to his mask that wants to keep going. This is truly a challenge for him. This is not a even fight, not a fight that he's going to win. This is the fight where the odds are against him. And it'd be wrong not to take this chance to prove himself. So no, he will keep going. Because the worst that could happen is, hey, I might be severely injured or put in a tour for. The best that could happen is I can prove myself to an Ancilla that I know how to use my hands.
Well, it's not about proving yourself, it's about proving that you can master your beast. Keep that in mind.
That is true.
So being able to direct it when necessary is a useful skill.
Then I will do this then. I'll just roll a die, even or odds. Even he keeps going, odds he does. Alright. So no, he'll try to stop himself. Resolve composure, if I'm correct.
Pardon?
To try to get out of the frenzy.
It's another resolve plus composure check, but because you have voluntarily entered frenzy, you lose 2 dice on the check.
Okay. I got one.
Okay. Just barely managed to rein your beast in.
When
Just quickly enough to be knocked to the ground by Lannistaff. But when he sees you exit frenzy, and I presume you stop fighting and just lay there, he too exits frenzy. Very jarringly, very suddenly. Although it doesn't come across that way to him, he looks fairly comfortable.
you hear a mild groan coming from Julian as he's really feeling the pain now, being back in control.
Oh yeah, you suffer -3 dice to all actions.
Yeah.
Well, you ain't torpid, so it's a start.
And Julian just kind of nods, and he looks like he's about to move. Then he stops himself, wincing for a moment, and then let's see, see how much I can actually I'm allowed to heal.
You can heal 1 blood point per turn. You have taken all of your health levels and damage. And the fact that you're out of frenzy upgrades some of those
Yes.
levels as well. So you gain an additional level of lethal damage. One of your bashing is converted to lethal.
Yep, that very true. And injury and healing, 1 health. Then yes, he will start spending since I still have 6 VT left. I believe because you have to heal from lowest, I mean highest level damage to lowest, right?
Yes.
And
You can choose, if I recall.
yeah, so what is health check is field? Nope. Oh,
Let me check.
yeah. Always mark wound penalties,
Healing.
healing.
Your rightmost wounds heal first. Um, so it's your least pressing wounds that heal quickest.
All right, then then so it's the other way. So it goes from the weakest from bashing to the highest of that. So I will start healing since I have 6 blood. Um, my willpower is only 2 though, so I'd start getting hungry if I heal too much. But no, he'll spend 2 blood to reduce the bashing, and about a half an hour down to 8. And once that kind of heals up, he actually finally rises a bit, still wincing as the wounds are still great. And there's a look of hunger on his face, spitting much vitae in this confrontation,
How much she spent?
too.
Okay.
So I am at 4.
Wait, how many health levels? Because all your health levels got covered in damage. So, how many health levels do you have normally?
I normally have 10. Then most characters heal. The healing is let's say wound
So if you
recover.
heal 2, you would be at 6 bashing, 2 lethal.
Yeah, so 1, 2 less. Yeah. Right. Julian will stand and will nod over to his teacher in a respectful manner, though he's still kind of carrying himself to one side.
Okay, yeah, you still suffer 1 wound, minus 1 dice penalty um, as a wound penalty. But so you look a bit, you look pretty fucking ragged. I mean, your body looks kind of like it's still very pulpy. Um, some people are gonna wonder how you're alive in any way, given your current state.
Let alone standing up and walking
Yeah,
around.
like the hole in your stomach hasn't actually fully healed. But Lana Staff just says, "You got a good hit in. That's more than most get, I suppose. Most just run when I turn on.
Uh,
They don't make it very far in the order, nor very far from me."
you'll give me too much credit. It was in control most of the time. I was just able to realize when I was outmatched.
Not that much is clear. You were largely thrashing about, made it very easy to keep you down. But at least you know when to turn it on.
That is the start. If one does not know how to shake the beast cage, one cannot master it.
Exactly. Next step is learning how to expand on that cage. Physical trauma helps build up a sense of control, helps one remain composed under pressure. We'll be doing more of this.
I
Expand on your control, expand on your senses. That will be the next step. First is to learn how to push the beast, then empower it, then how to rein it in. Once you learn how to rein it in, everything else will come naturally.
He nods. Well, you do see him kind of go up to his mouth, and it looks like he's kind of picking at one of his fangs. And when you look at it, they are a little bit longer than they're supposed to be, even for typical vampire fangs, but they are slowly shrinking kind of back into his mouth. And he looks a bit dissatisfied when he takes notice of that. Mm.
You hungry, pal?
Uh, uh, be okay. I'm hungry, but I can control myself.
Hmm. You sure you haven't cleaned up much? He says as he begins to repair the damage you've done to his cheekbone. You kind of hear the bone snap back into place. His
Mm.
face looked less caved in.
Mm. If I take certain roads, no one will see me, and I get hunt the next night to fix what happened.
Well, be careful. We ain't the Invictus, but the masquerade is real.
Hmm. Oh, since I'm here, I wonder if the uh doctor, uh, try to remember her name. Yeah.
Isabella
Oh,
Marrow.
yeah, Doctor Moreau told you about people sticking their nose near one of our nests.
What's coming from down high that's who you're gonna help next.
Yeah. And
Joint operation.
he nods that.
Sworn of a dying light, and the axe are gonna be doing some cross cooperation to get back this nest. It's located all the way up in Norbury. Place for a nest to be, given how quiet that town is.
I,
But apparently, there's some sort of thing there. Way it was described to me, well, it was more or less stated to be some sort of spirit fettering itself to someone.
I,
Left derelict building just crawling with power.
I heard from Moreau. There's also Alankea that seems interested in the nest. She works with him. Don't know how loyal she is to him, but it could be a problem.
Well, we know who gave it the info, so if he goes missing, we know who's behind it then.
I,
And if Lancaster starts showing up on our territory, well, that's where we come in. We're here to discuss who gets to keep such a place of power. It is ours, it is on our territory. It is far beyond the reach of Lancashire. If they come down here, there'll be blood on the streets.
we just dealt with a problem involving extra blood on the streets, and I'm not in the mood to deal with the church. They seem oddly boisterous despite these times.
The church always has a table to pound. It is the way of fanatics and savages. He won't say he wouldn't say savages. He'll say barbarians.
Said, I am, said, they are not a concern to me. I will protect the nest and more than gladly make sure they don't find out, whether by scrutiny or physical force. But I don't want to bring extra eyes onto our operations in any way.
Well, make sure to mend yourself before going to that nest. You're going to be called upon soon. Another neonate of our sworn will go with you.
Aye,
Isabella and the Kogown's child will be there. They'll be doing field research. Take care of them while they do it. Make sure that parasite doesn't show up, make a mess of things, and if it does, make sure the dying light get out of there safely.
aye,
What's important is we learn what it's doing now, why, what it is, and how to deal with it. Once we can control it or destroy it, we can claim its territory for our own, and the power that lies therein.
it will be done. And there's when he speaks that, the tone of his voice makes it seem like what's the word I'm looking for? The word my mind's going is solid, as in it's very resolute, more or less. It's going to happen regardless of what happens.
Hmm. Good. Well, get to hunting. You need to be in good shape for this operation. Two of ours already died because they were foolish enough trying to claim it for themselves. Didn't want the axe to get involved, wanted to take credit.
That is foolish. The idea is knowledge, not credit. Ego is the first thing that slows us down.
Precisely. Well, I'll be seeing you again. Make sure you're ready.
Aye,
And he will leave you. Exiting the building, some staff will come in to start clearing up the blood off the floor. You're not bleeding anymore, but you still got a partial hole in your stomach. It's never gonna look good. Arm trails barely holding themselves together inside that thing.
Julian, especially seeing that and really taking notice of the damages, will make sure to put his jacket on not as tight as he usually does, and will take less walk streets when he gets back to his house. So he may take on a call of somebody close to him to maybe help patch him up.
And I think with that's where we can end the scene. Thank you, play for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you all next time. Goodbye.